We are back. Let's get Kristen. This is so much fun. I love talking to creative people. I love talking to my friends that are creative. It's so great. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. My hair is quite frizzy today. That's fun. Mm-mm. Just waiting for Kristen to come back. Hello. Yay, Kristen's here. We're coming. There we go.
Hello.
Yeah, I love this.
This
This
is
is so
great.
fun. Thank you so much for taking time to do this too. I appreciate it.
It's nap time for my nephew, so it's good timing.
Yay, that's perfect. I do want to mention to people that this live chat is going to become a podcast next month. So all of this dead air will be edited out.
Really?
It'll be a fun conversation. So I'm excited for that. It'll be neat. I don't know if this is going to continue to be a live thing. We might end up just recording it, but we'll see. So, all right. So what else do I want to ask you? I want to talk to you forever because I love what you do. I love that first of all, I love that you're an approachable,
Oh, thank you.
positive, uplifting person. And it's nice because there are people that don't like to share information
Yeah,
about
definitely
what they've
those
done.
people.
Yeah. And so I feel like now we're at a point where you have to help each other out to, I don't know, it's how you achieve goals. I've advised a lot of people. So, anywho, all right. So, I'm gonna look at my questions now. Da, 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 da. So, you admire Sandy Powell.
Yeah.
Tell me why you admire her.
I just think when you look at her body of work, she's obviously picked jobs that she's passionate about. And then her use of color and just her design aesthetic. Like Gangs of New York is probably one of my favorite costume films, just because the way she mixes patterns and colors and but makes it doesn't look like a costume. It looks real. And I don't know, I appreciate that. I respect that. I know it's not as easy as she makes it seems.
Mhm.
Um, so that's one of the reasons. I've briefly worked with her on The Favorite, and I just see how she is on set, and I just think she's absolutely brilliant. I know.
That's
And
great.
also I know people that have worked with her closely, and everything I hear, like she's very um she's just very respectful of her crew, and she knows what she's doing.
Oh, I love it. Kindness goes a long way. That's really cool. Yay. Yeah, her name is one that I've heard for many years, so that's
Hmm.
really cool that you've gotten to work with her. I like that.
Yeah, I'd like to
So,
work with her again at some point on more. I was
yeah,
on The Favorite. I did fittings, and I was like looking after crowds, so I wasn't part of her design team. But you never know.
when I found out you worked on The Favorite, I died because I love that movie. I just thought it was so great. It was like dark and different. And I just liked it. It was good.
I didn't realize when I was doing the fittings, like when you go in to do fittings and things, you don't always read the script, and I didn't. And
Oh,
we were
okay.
told, we're fitting, like we were told the period, and I fit all the wigs and the Tories, like, the politicians and things like that. And, you're fitting them, you realize it's stylized and everything was custom made. So you're like, okay, great, it's gonna look good. And then we got onto set for the ballroom scene,
Oh,
and they started doing this ridiculous dance. And I looked over and I was like, what is this? And her assistant, Oliver, that I worked with before,
yeah.
he's like, oh, it's a like comedy. Didn't you know that? I was like, I had
Yeah.
no idea, but you're just expecting this very like rigid period dance sequence, and they start like voguing, and you're like, this is amazing. And then when I saw it, I was just like,
Yeah.
this is brilliant. And one thing she did on that, and I don't know if you can tell or if you've heard interviews, but like all the courtiers, like in the black and white that are around the actors, the lace on their like dresses and cravats and all of that, it's like laser cut. It's like a like pleather like material that
That's
she had laser
crazy.
cut to make it
Yeah.
look like lace. So, but then to take it to a more modern level,
Yeah.
which I thought was absolutely brilliant.
I love that you're talking about that. I remember when we talked about this before you told me that, and I was like, how? That's so genius. It's so smart. So, in being a costume designer, you have to be kind of an engineer with different things because you also did you work on Mary Queen of Scots?
No, I didn't, but I do have
But
friends
you
that did.
told me, yes, and the denim. Tell
Yeah.
me, explain that. Sorry.
So that was Alexandra Byrne and
Okay.
another designer that I think is brilliant. If you're
Yeah.
interested in costume, yeah, watch all the films that her and Sandy Powell have done. You're
Yeah.
good to go. But she was inspired by, well, she did the first, she did Elizabeth and Elizabeth the Golden Age. So she knew the period really well. So for
Mhm.
Mary Queen of Scots, she took it to a different level and she decided to use denim. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, she'll, if you find an interview with her, she explains it a bit more.
So
But when you
smart.
look at it, you
Yeah.
don't really realize it
Nope.
unless you're looking for it. And there's one scene where the actress is laying down and that she used rivets, like modern denim rivets to like,
Yeah.
embellish the gown, which obviously she knows was not done back then. It wasn't even, it didn't even exist back then. But the way she applied it was just,
Yeah.
it's brilliant because it still has the right period shape and everything. It's just she's taken the fabrication to a modern level.
Oh, that's so smart. I love looking for details like that. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't, but people that are into costume do. So thank you for pointing that out. I thought that was
Welcome.
really interesting. So what is or is there something that you want to work on that you haven't? Or
There's
an
so many
idea?
periods I haven't had a chance to like work on.
Yeah.
I dabbled. I love the 50s. So
Mhm.
I was a buyer on The Crooked House, which is like a low budget Agatha Christie movie. Christina
Okay.
Hendricks is in it and some other actors, but I
Oh,
can't remember the names.
cool.
But there's a good
Yeah.
cast and I was a buyer on it. So I
Cool.
really enjoyed vintage shopping for all the
Mhm.
accessories and jewelry and to fabric shop because we did a lot of custom makes, especially for Christina Hendricks. Um,
Yeah.
so to work more on like as an assistant designer on a 40s, 50s film would be a
Cool.
dream.
That sounds neat.
What
Did you see the show Hollywood on
I
Netflix
haven't,
yet?
it's on my list.
Costume. You're gonna like it.
I
It's
heard
good.
it's amazing.
Binge watch that.
And obviously Miss Maisel, the marvelous Miss Maisel, I love that. It's beautiful.
Oh,
My friend
yes.
Trisha actually works on it in the crowd world and she gives me all like the tidbits and like how like the designer is so involved and like it's her baby, like all of her costumes and the whole
That's
way.
so great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
My favorite parts in that show, it's probably gonna be funny, but like when they're working out, when she's doing like fitness
Yeah,
classes,
great.
that's like my favorite because it's so ridiculous. Like that's just really
But
how they're
sure
do the
that's
one where they're
the upper
that's what they did.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially like I mean, she's a rich housewife. So of course that's
Yeah. It's so crazy. Like let's just wear khaki shorts and a polo shirt and do some working out. It's just funny. And tights.
and the workouts are ridiculous too, but that's a whole
Yeah.
other thing.
I love Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good show.
There's so
So,
many high quality TV shows now that the
mhm.
costumes are just fabulous. And I can't even watch them quick enough, even with COVID, to
Yeah,
keep up with
I
it all.
know. I've definitely watched more TV recently than I have in a long time, which it's not good because I'm like, all right, I gotta get back to work.
Yeah.
I gotta work on this stuff. But oh, cool. All right, so I'm reading. What else? Da-na-na-na.
Mm,
I think no. Is there anything else fun that you want to discuss?
oh gosh.
You said so much great information. Thank you. I'm really excited. People are gonna more costume designers. There are a lot of costume designers, which I didn't realize
Yeah.
out there. And I also didn't realize that it seems to be, maybe I'm assuming, that costume designers, like, some focus on film, some focus on TV. Like, that's pretty neat. I didn't realize that until recently.
I think it's because the layout is different. Like I
Yeah.
think like Cynthia mentioned, TV's fast and they do it in blocks. Now I haven't really done much TV. I've done days on like Downton Abbey and some like other period.
Are you joking?
No, I know, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, literally, I did like a day. It was an
Yeah.
experience. I
Wow.
enjoyed it because as a someone that watched it all along, and then I was asked to do a couple of days on the last season. I could only do one. It was like weird walking. Normally, when you go to do days, you show up. You don't know this like what the story is about. You don't know who the actors are, but you to like stand there and be like, oh, there goes Mr. Bates, and there goes
That's
Mary.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
you're just like, this is insane. At least you know who to avoid on set, because normally, if you're doing they have their own costumers that they know. And as a daily, I came in and I looked after all the kids, so that was fun.
Yeah.
It was when Mary got married, so I looked after the priest, and then Daisy's father-in-law. That he was lovely, really sweet. But yeah, I looked after some really random people on that. But
Cool. Oh man, I wish that we had a documentary on you. Like all of your experiences. You've done a lot of cool stuff, Kristen. That's awesome. I love it. Yay!
Hopefully it gets more interesting the longer I'm in it.
I know. So this is it. Like, you're a costume designer, lady. This is awesome. Is there something else that you are thinking of in the future that isn't costume that you'd like to do, or
I mean,
do you see
I
this
would
as your
to design, like to be the costume designer, but as of now, I kind of want to work with. It's kind of like the same approach I had when I was in fashion. I want to work for different designers and see what they do and how they handle situations and kind of figure out the way I want to design. I worked with Sutirat Lalarbe on Bond, and she was wonderful. She's been a great mentor. I'm hoping I can work with her again soon. But to work with her again, to work with some other designers, and then hopefully design a few years down the road would be my personal dream. But take one day at a time.
You've won an award, right?
Oh yes. It's got a long name. The International Film. I actually don't know it off the top of my head. It's on that paper I sent you.
Yeah. But let me look.
For I Am Henry. Somehow, which was lovely. It was great to win an award. Go up, give a little speech.
That's amazing. Hold on. What? Why? Hold on.
Something like the International Film Fest.
Wait. The Film Festival International Award for Best Costume.
Yeah, that.
Congratulations! That's super exciting. That's awesome.
Got an award and everything. It's in my.
I know. When I saw your pictures, I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm living vicariously through you. You're incredible.
Thank you.
Hey, cool. Well, I don't know what else to say.
So
this was fun.
To plug for Bond, because no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
So
Go for
James
it.
Bond has now been pushed from April to November. Hopefully it's not pushed again because of COVID. I don't know exactly when it comes out.
Yeah.
November something. No Time to Die.
Cool.
You'll see the trailers. They'll all come back again.
That's exciting. Yay. Well, thank you so much, Kristen, for taking time with me. This was so much fun. I feel like we're just hanging out at school.
We should do this.
I know. Thank you. And come back next week, people.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, Kristen.
Yeah. I think it's great to give people an insight into different creative industries.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.